Hello, broadcasters. Welcome to episode 181 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a good week. We have a great guest tonight from the StreamYard team. She's on the support team. You'll meet her in a little bit later here, so stay tuned for that. For anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard, and we do these town halls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with all of you, go through the same flow that all of you do with your own shows. Two is to answer any of your questions. We love interacting and hitting on any topics you like. So if you have anything you want us to touch on tonight, feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll do our best to get to as many as we can. And then I always mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional streams. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. See people from hanging out from all over the world tonight. We got Vicky from New Orleans. Very, very cool. Of course, John, as usual, from Ireland. Nice to see all of you here. Before I forget, we have some great shows to remind everyone of. We got the Spotlight the second Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern. Fun show that's all about you. Dana and Kelsey highlight folks in the community and how they're having success with streaming. So if you're looking for inspiration or ideas on how to get started, definitely check that out. We got YouTube channel reviews with Dee and Daniel, second Saturday of every month. Really fun show if you're looking for specific tips on individual channels. Really great if you're looking to get started on YouTube and figure out things like how do I make thumbnails, or what's a good idea for a thumbnail? How do I title my videos? How often should I post, and when should I live stream? Stuff like that. Really useful content. And Dee, Daniel, and Roberto, and I'm sure many more, are all at VidCon right now. I think they did a few streams recently from VidCon, so check those out on the channel if you missed them.
Sweet.
We've enhanced your live streaming the last Tuesday of the month with Nick Neman, who's a pro when it comes to video and, of course, live streaming. But for specific live streaming tips, definitely check that show out. Nick is awesome. And then we got live stream reviews the last Saturday of every month with Christian and Charles at noon PST, which is a fun show where they hang out and give live feedback on live streams. And one thing we've been doing each broadcast, if you haven't been here for a while or you're new, is so we can get to know more about you. You get to know a little bit more about us. We've been doing fun fact, and this week we had first vacation that you remember. What's the first vacation that you remember, Dan?
Yeah, so I have a few like shorter ones I definitely remember. The first big one that really sticks in my mind was when my family went to a place called Drumheller. This is in Alberta, so it was quite a long drive from where I'm from, out on the west coast of Canada. And it was just a super long road trip, and we went there. We actually stopped at all kinds of different places along the way. We were camping at all kinds of different sites. And yeah, that was a ton of fun. I miss those types of road trips. How about you?
Awesome. I think the first one that I actually remember, I don't remember how old I was, but we went every year for a super long time. We used to always go skiing with a bunch of family at a ski hill called Sunshine. I think it's in British Columbia, northern BC. But yeah, that was always really fun.
Sweet.
All right. Kick things off. We had an announcement for tonight. I'm sure many of you are anticipating it, but either way, here it is. So it was custom background music. So custom background music is coming soon. It'll be towards the end of this week or early next week.
Yep.
Most of you can probably guess how it works, but Dan, do you want to walk through a little bit about how it's going to work?
Cool. Yeah. So as we've mentioned before, for anyone that's watched these for a while, when we first launched the background music feature, which for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's in the brand tab, the very bottom. You can choose some default tracks that we have. One of the challenges we always mentioned is copyright. So it's always kind of challenging to work around some of the copyright issues on YouTube and Facebook and other platforms. So we've just given you some tracks that won't have any copyright issues, and we've had that for a while, but we always wanted to eventually open it up and allow you to upload your own stuff. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming, is at the bottom of that brand section, you'll be able to actually choose your own track and be able to upload, your own music or something. Now, the big caveat here, and we'll have it in the product in a few places as well, is definitely be very careful with copyright. So don't play music that you don't have the rights to. But yeah, it will work for music. It also works for sound effects and any other thing you want to upload, basically any audio file. So pretty exciting there. Curious how you guys want to use it. I know we've heard from the town hall over the last several months now different ways you want to use it. But yeah, curious for anyone listening right now, how you plan on using that feature.
Awesome. Yeah, like Dan said, if you have any questions, let us know. See a few other questions in the chat here, and lots of great responses on the vacation. See lots of fun camping trips. I think I saw Atlantic City and of course Disneyland. Very cool. One of the earlier questions we had, yes, it's me. Tools says, I repurpose my live streams to different platforms. It would be great to be able to download isolated videos. Yeah, that's a great point. Yes, it's me too. Definitely noted on that one. Makes a lot of sense. The Quest of Oak Island says, question, when I'm on StreamYard and don't reboot Facebook, I don't see the broadcast on Facebook. I guess maybe Oak Island, you just mean when you go live, you don't see the broadcast unless you reboot Facebook. You should just have to, if it's not popping up immediately, I would just try refreshing Facebook. I wouldn't think you'd have to totally reboot, but if refreshing isn't working, maybe shoot a message to StreamYard.com/contact to the live chat that can help you with that.
That might also be what they mean. I do know, like, let's say you're streaming to a Facebook group or something. It's very common, especially if it's not scheduled. Like if it's scheduled, there'll be a post ahead of time. If you're not scheduling it and you just go live, that post doesn't usually appear on Facebook for about 10 seconds or so. So if you're immediately clicking the view on Facebook link right after you go live, you will see some kind of error page for about 10 seconds on Facebook. There's not really anything we can do about that. Scheduling it in advance does get around that. So if that's what you're running into, that actually is normal. And yeah, you just have to refresh the page after about 10 seconds, like Geige said. But yeah, if you're getting something where you like permanently can't see it, or you're having to do something more so than just refreshing on Facebook, then it would be useful to reach out to support.
Cool. Lots of other stuff to get to. Errol, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Errol Ebank says, I would love to integrate Bible scripture for our church. That's a really cool idea, Errol. I'd love to learn more about how you'd want that to work. I'm not super familiar with if there's like providers out there that make it easier to sort of pull in scripture programmatically, and if there's like one you use in particular for that. If there's any other details you could share, would love to hear that. Or if you want to shoot an email to contact@streamyard.com, would love to chat with you about it as well. It's a cool suggestion. Mitchell says, how can I stop nasty spam comments on my live stream? That's a good question, Mitchell. There are a lot of tools depending on the individual platform. So I guess one of the best things in general, though, is if you do have someone in your community that you trust, the easiest thing, just so that you always have the fail safe, no matter what sort of filters you've set up and things like that, is to just have a few moderators. I think every single live platform has the option to have a moderator so that you can focus on the live stream while you're live and you're not sort of simultaneously worrying about banning people and stuff like that. Have the moderator help you out and do that and block those people. And those platforms have blocking functionality generally right on the chat. If that's not an option for you, we do have some of that functionality on StreamYard itself, depending on the platform. Some platforms do require you to actually do it on the platform itself, but for things like Facebook and YouTube, you should be able to block or time them out directly from StreamYard. But I do think moderators are important.
Yeah, and I would add, from StreamYard, you can do it for YouTube and for Facebook pages. If you're streaming to a group, you do have to do that on Facebook. So that's where you really want to have someone set up.
Cool. Awesome, Agent Bay. Glad you're excited and prepared. That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, cool, Francis. Glad to hear that. Looks like most people are excited. That's good to know. Let's see. Sasarico says, are you planning to insert some solution for simultaneous translation? Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess just to make sure we're understanding this correctly, by simultaneous translation, are you talking about two people in the studio that speak different languages and actually be able to translate between them? Or are you talking more of like a closed caption type thing, like we're streaming and we want to have captions in multiple languages? Or then you could even be talking about the product, like within StreamYard itself, can we translate the product? That we already have. So, and even if within the same studio, so if you had a guest that spoke Spanish and they were in your studio, and they could have the website in Spanish and you could have it in English. Yeah, maybe let us know exactly what you're referring to there.
Cool. RLCC says, is there a possibility of getting analytics for our broadcasts? So right now, most of the analytics stuff, RLCC, is just on the platforms themselves, or you can see it on YouTube and Facebook. We know it's a popular request, though, to make that a bit easier and being able to see things like what were my concurrent viewers throughout the live stream. Obviously, you can see it live in StreamYard, but lots of people want to see it after the fact. So that's definitely something that we plan on adding more features around in the future. But if there's anything specific around analytics beyond just like the obvious things of like, viewership over time and stuff like that, if there's anything unique that you think we might not be thinking of that you'd like to see, definitely let us know. Lynette says, where can I find all that info when the tutorials are on? So if you just go to the YouTube channel, Lynette, there's a lot of tutorials on there. If you just type in StreamYard on YouTube, I think it'll pop up as the first channel. But if you really want like a full run through of everything, we do webinars every single week, and you can find those at, I think I've got the link somewhere here. If you go to StreamYard.com/webinars/getting-started, Dana and Kelsey do a webinar every week where they walk through the whole product. There's Q&A at the end, everything you need to know. So I would definitely recommend checking that out if you are just getting started.
Yep.
All right, let's see what else we had here. RLCC says, would StreamYard automatically detect if there are copyright issues with the custom background music? So not at this point, RLCC. It's definitely a cool idea. It would be somewhat challenging for us because each platform has slightly different copyright restrictions, and then we also wouldn't know if you technically own the copyright, and then also had it set up in Rights Manager that you're able to stream it and stuff like that. So it's a cool idea, but we'd have to think through the details of how we might be able to pull that off. Any other thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, like you said, it is definitely tricky. The platforms are also always changing. Like if a new song comes out, they'll adapt automatically to add those new songs. So we wouldn't want to give you a false sense of confidence, right? Like if our algorithms didn't perfectly match the platforms, and like Geige said, each of the platforms is different, then we'd hate to say like, yeah, this is totally fine, and then you get banned for it. So that's kind of why we don't have that. But yeah, I would err on the side of don't play anything that's remotely copyright, and hopefully that solves it. But I know what you mean. Like sometimes it can be tricky with, I want to play a sound effect or something, like, oh, okay, shoot, that's actually copyrighted as well sometimes. So yeah, definitely need to be careful on that one. But if you make your own music or something, that's where I think this is, very useful and really cool, and shouldn't have any copyright issues there.
All right. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Then we'll bring our guest, Katie, on in a second here. Got one from Larry. Larry says, just tuned in, custom background music. Yes. I think you mentioned after that it was an autocorrect. No worries. Yes, Geige. I'm assuming we can upload MP3s. Any limitations like file size, length, etc. Do you want to touch on that, Dan?
Cool. So I don't believe we have any length, like time length limitations. File size, I think it's capped right now at 10 megabytes. Let us know if you think that's going to be long enough for you. We could always adjust that if needed, I think. But I believe that's what we have right now.
So hopefully that also answered the question, Beauty Bubble. It's there's not a length limit, right, Dan? It's just the size limit.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any kind of limit. So if you had a 1 hour song, as long as it's not a massive song, it should be fine.
Data is King says, will there be more music to choose from? Yep. So we are. I mean, this feature is separate from the library of music, but yeah, we're definitely going to add more music to the overall StreamYard library of options as well.
Yeah, essentially what we're doing is we're going to have a new button at the bottom of the brand tab for uploading background music. When you click that, you'll see other new tracks. So we won't necessarily have that right away at the same time we launch the uploading feature, but eventually we'll just keep adding new tracks in there. So you can always kind of just pick from our library, and we'll make sure those are all copyright free. Then you can also upload your own.
Cool. We got a bunch here, so we'll try to get to a few more before bringing Katie on. What was the next one we had? Awesome, Connie. Good luck on your first stream. That's awesome.
Cool.
Yes, it's me too. Says, or sorry, me tools. Any possibility when I hit go live, a message gets posted to all my platforms that I'm live, and a link from said platform to watch? So I'd be curious, tools. So when you hit go live, or generally, I'd be curious if you're using the scheduling functionality. So generally on StreamYard, you would schedule the broadcast to the different platforms, which creates, depending on the platform, some kind of post. Generally, it might be called slightly different depending on which platform you're on. And then when you hit go live, a notification will go out to some amount of the viewership on there. So curious, like in addition to that, is it you want a separate post to go out, or maybe something before you go live, reminding people that you're going live that day? Let us know. Chris says, is there a way to bring my broadcast on one screen and display the dashboard with the chat and banner section on my second monitor? You want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah, so right now, no. So I'm guessing what you want is like some of the controls over here, some of the controls over here kind of thing, or like your camera focus here, but the controls just spread out more across multiple monitors. We don't have that now, but that is something we're very interested in potentially adding. The only way you could really do it now, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, is you could have multiple StreamYard tabs open, but that could get messy because you'll end up hearing yourself and you kind of have to be clever with how you do it. And you're sort of sending like data back to yourself. It's not ideal. But it is physically possible. Wouldn't recommend it though, but it might be something we improve eventually.
All right. Maybe one more here and then we'll bring Katie on. Let's see. We had one from Paranormal who said, any chance of having a teleprompter? So we definitely want to make things as easy to use as possible, Paranormal. So I wouldn't say it's impossible for us to have some kind. I'd be curious what you mean by teleprompter. Is it just some sort of functionality where you can maybe have a Google Doc or something where it's easy to see what you've planned out beforehand? Or do you mean like an integration with an actual teleprompter? Maybe let us know. All right. I think we can bring Katie on. Katie, if you're ready, go ahead and pop on. Okay, Katie's here. Awesome. So this is Katie from the support team. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Katie, how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
We're doing good.
Sweet.
So for anyone who's never seen this kind of segment of the show, we've been bringing on StreamYard employees and just asking them a few questions. Basically, it's a chance for all of you to get to know the people that work at StreamYard. So in this case, we've got Katie from our customer support team. So Katie, I've got a set of questions for you, and then anyone in the chat, feel free to ask any questions you want for Katie. So Katie, first one, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do at StreamYard?
So I am an actor and writer from New Jersey originally, and I am on the support team at StreamYard. I work mostly on email, so if you email StreamYard, you're mostly going to hear from me.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, I'm sure there's several people here that have interacted with you before.
Most likely, yeah.
And where are you located now, Katie?
I live in Brooklyn, in New York.
Cool. And how long have you been at StreamYard?
Since October 2021, so I'm almost coming on 9 months, which is really exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then this is always the tough one. What's your favorite StreamYard feature?
Yeah, I definitely have to think about this one, but I'm thinking it's the record only feature. I really like that you can record content ahead of time, or sometimes I even use it in place of Zoom meetings for rehearsals for acting or just meeting with people. And you don't have a time limit, which I think is really cool.
Cool. Yeah. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want to be when you were younger? Was it an actor or something else?
I wanted to be an actor at some point, but early on I wanted to be a teacher. There was definitely like a pop star mixed in there. Would sing in my room, you know.
Cool. What grade did you want to teach, by the way? Or you're not sure?
I didn't know, but I remember this is actually such a funny thing. But when I was in preschool, that's what I said I wanted to be. But I remember saying to someone, "Oh, but that'll be hard because I have to pay attention in school," which is silly because I mean, it's great, but it was funny.
Cool. And then how did you get into customer support?
So I've done a bunch of customer support since here, but Kelsey, who was originally on the support team and now is working in production services, is a good friend of mine. She was working at the company, and I was like, oh, what? This sounds pretty interesting. So I ended up joining through her.
Cool. Awesome. And what's your favorite thing about working at StreamYard?
I really love the people. I think everybody's super friendly. It's really nice to be communicating with coworkers around the world, and everybody's just super nice. I also love that we do shows like this, so customers can actually interact with us almost face to face and ask us questions, and we hear their feedback. I just think it's really cool.
Sweet. And then how would you answer the fun fact question today? Do you remember what it was?
I don't know.
Your first vacation
the
you remember.
first vacation I remember. I think it was probably, since I'm from Jersey, it was like the Jersey Shore, going with my family. Maybe that one. Yeah. It was like probably 7 or 8.
Nice.
So I can actually remember.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then some random ones for you. What's your favorite karaoke song?
Anything Britney Spears or early 2000s. Always
Cool.
really fun. Yeah.
And you can actually sing, I would guess, right?
I'm decent. I'm not the best singer, I would say, but I can carry a tune.
But you're better than Geige and I, most likely.
Maybe.
Hopefully. What's your favorite board game?
I loved Clue. I still love Clue.
Cool.
And I'm really into true crime now, so kind of carried through it. But I just love that game. You could play it for hours. It's super fun.
Sweet. Did you ever play Clue where somebody guessed and got it wrong?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Well, I always thought that was supposed to be rare. I remember everyone getting mad at the person who got it wrong and kind of.
Well, I think if you guess too early, for sure, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I guess we should check," and then you're like, "Oh, we spoiled it. We gotta start."
Well, now the game's over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Cool. Sweet. So yeah, if anyone else has questions for Katie, feel free to ask away.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we had one from where'd it go? From Mario. was it you that helped Mario out with a login code earlier today?
Most likely. I was on today, so I bet we talked today. Hi,
Cool.
Mario.
There you go. I think we got one more here. Do you want to queue up the giveaway, Dan, while we get to some of these other questions?
You betcha.
Quest of Oak Island was wondering how many emails you generally do each day.
Oh, wow. Dana can probably tell you better. I'd say on a slow day, anywhere from like 200 to 300. And on a really busy day, maybe like 500.
That's a lot of emails. Just you.
Yeah. I push through a lot of emails a day. Super speedy. I try to be, at least.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and yes, it's me. Tools was wondering, what's your favorite Britney song?
That is so difficult. I would say, I feel like Piece of Me is really good. It's a really good song.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looks like most of you are already familiar with the tool, but we do these giveaways for each town hall now. So to be eligible to win, if you just type in #TheYard, you'll have a chance. And tonight we'll be giving away a StreamYard sweater. Since Katie's wearing one, won't we give away that type? I think we'll give away that T-shirt as well. We'll get a sweater, T-shirt, and the StreamYard pillow. I don't think we have it in the background, but you've probably seen it in the past. We'll give you a couple minutes here, or maybe a minute here to get it in. And if you ever want to run these giveaways yourself, you can access this tool for free just at StreamYard.com/giveaway. And I saw this question come up a bunch, so I just want to answer it quickly. Brockton Magnet Fisher. That sounds like a cool channel. You just like find random stuff in lakes and stuff. That's cool. Can you make it so when we have a guest up on the panel that they will be able to comment on StreamYard and not have to open up another page or go on their cell phone? So that's certainly something we'd love to add. Brockton, do you want to speak a little bit more about that one, Dan, and maybe some of the challenges with that?
Yeah, for sure. So like Geige mentioned, we're definitely open to it. That's something, it would take a little while for us to add, but I think we sort of we're close to having that feature, I guess, in that we already allow the ability for guests to log in with YouTube or Facebook if the host requires it. So it wouldn't be too much on top of that. Obviously, it could be kind of inconvenient for your guests to have to log in on StreamYard, but if they really want to comment, I think that's a pretty small thing to ask them to do. So yeah, we're absolutely open to that. Obviously, the other version of that you can already do is if they are a admin on your account, and I think co-host as well, they can post ask you. It might just be admin. They can post ask you in the chat, but I know that's not the same as being able to post ask their own channel or their own account. So yeah, something we're able to do.
Cool. And Dana had a question for Katie. What is your favorite thing to troubleshoot in customer support?
That's a great question, Dana. I feel like I like helping with billing, I'd say. Something with a billing issue is fun because you can look in, someone can be having an issue and you look into a platform we have and it just lays it out for you, but sometimes it's a guessing game. That's really difficult. Maybe I would say not something with Facebook.
Okay.
Because Facebook is troublesome. That's my definite least favorite. But yeah, maybe billing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Facebook has a lot of one-off kind of weird errors.
Yup.
All right, should we go ahead and run the giveaway, Dan?
Let's do it. Good luck, everyone. With the upload background music, you'll be able to add your own drum roll.
Yeah, you can record it yourself. Doug, congrats. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. If you shoot an email to contact@streamyard.com, someone on the team can work with you on getting your address and size and shipping that out to you. Congrats again.
Cool.
All right. We should have time for a couple more questions here. Joe says, I used to get email updates from StreamYard about new features. Did you do away with that? No, we still do email updates, Joe. Maybe if you can find the last one you have in your inbox, maybe go to the subscription settings to make sure you're still subscribed. Unrelated to email updates, we did recently add on StreamYard itself a new section, right, Dan? So there's like a new section with like a full log of all updates. So if you're looking to get caught up on anything you missed, you can just go there and click the new button and it'll list out sort of everything that's been added.
Yep. And yeah, we do also try to batch them sometimes where we won't necessarily send an email for every update. We'll usually try to grab 4 or 5 features and kind of put it into one email just so you don't get a ton of emails from us.
Lynette says, why do you always need earpods? So you don't need earpods, Lynette. We just recommend it. Like you see, Katie doesn't have earpods. Dan doesn't have earpods. I do because I like to be extra safe, I guess. My computer doesn't actually have speakers either, so I have to have them. But it's just to reduce the chance of echo happening. But you don't have to have them.
No. If you're going for the highest quality recording possible, the highest quality audio possible, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, it's certainly not necessary. In the same way, I'd recommend great lighting, but you can tell that I'm not exactly nailing it in this episode.
We'll get Dan a light for next time.
Yeah. Switching around rooms and it's throwing me off.
Data is King says, will there be a way to share files to the audience during the stream? There certainly could be, Dad. I think that's a really cool feature request for sharing like PDFs or like sort of ways to engage the audience, maybe get them to sign up for your email list or something like that. So yeah, definitely something we're open to. I don't have a date or anything for you, but definitely open to exploring it.
Yeah, and I'd also love to know, is there specific files you'd love to send? Like Geige mentioned a PDF. Did you have something else in your mind that's different than that? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Data, since it's data is king, I'm guessing it's like spreadsheets and
CSV
stuff like
file?
that. Yeah. Let us know. And then one more for the custom music feature. Asta Cero says, will there be an option to have a playlist and not to have the same song looping? You want to take that one, Dan?
Cool. So not right now, but that is something we've kind of explored already, and we're just trying to figure out if that's something where, as you know, we're always trying to optimize for ease of use and just making it very simple. So we usually try not to go too far unless it's necessary. So we've explored different ways to do it, and we might eventually ship something like that, but not in this first version. If it comes up a lot, though, we're more likely to do it.
All right. And with that, this was episode 181 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us and all the questions. We'll see you next week at the same time.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.